Year to anyone who's from Sri Lanka or from Thailand.
Nobody is there currently from Sri Lanka.
Yes, Happy New Year.
But we can all consider, because today is the Tamil New Year slash Sri Lankan New Year, like that.
Oh, very well.
What's the Asian New Year?
So, so what I was saying is that Ravindra asked a very good question. So before we go to this Bahudhatukasutta, we need to understand what really is happening. So when we see a person, the person means what? What is a person? Now, first I have to have I. There's a first person should be there. So I am the first person. So when there is a first person, there should be a second person and the third person and then the object and like that. So when I see, let us say I see Ravindra, I'm seeing other than me, there is another person. That's my thing. But he's a male, meaning he has the same feature as me. So it's boring, basically. I want something which is totally different than me. So then it should be a female. Right? And then this conceptualization starts. If something is a male, then it should be all the time male. And if something is a female, it's all the time female. So now there is nothing which is changing. So it's stable. Right? So what are we in search for is stability. We want the same object to be there. It shouldn't change in whatever fashion. So now what I conceptualize, because there is me, then there is a conceptualization as birth, growth. I don't say it as decaying, I call it as aging and death. So what I'm seeing is I am born and I have become an adult. Now I have a girlfriend, I have a wife, or I have a husband, I have this, I have that. So now it becomes easy. So this ghana, something solid, is what we want. So out of the 10 armies of the Mara, if you take the first army of the Mara is Kamate Pathama Sena, that is Kama. Kama means not sensuality per se, it is a vitakka, is to discern, to think or to get involved. But what I should do, now this object has come, what I should do, should I welcome it or should I unwelcome it? So when I see Ravindra, he's a male, I don't have to welcome, so I become neutral. So adukka sukha vedana arises instantaneously because I'm not reacting to what I can say, Ravindra. But when I see male, it's interesting. Why? Because it's not male. But everything looks the same, but still not male. This is very funny, but that's how it is. Right? It's a female. And if it's a female, there's an interest. Interest of what? What is there to be interested? No, this is very interesting. So Chanda picks up. It becomes Chanda Raga. Right? So now the Raga will arise because I want to know. I want to know what? I can know Ravindra, I can know May also. It doesn't matter. But May is more interesting than Ravindra. Why? Because I know that is the same body. Which one? Ravindra. But I know it's an interesting body as May because she's female. Now, this conceptualization is so deep that unless I do an asubha bhavana, this is not going to go. It's so deep. So even if I say nanatta diverse, ekatta, single, it doesn't work. Why? Because the concept of feminine is so deeply ingrained in me that I am searching for a female. Right? That's interesting. Male is no longer interesting. But if I am a gay, maybe a female is not interesting and a male is interesting, because there's a perversion towards female. So I get attracted to the male. Only in that circumstances. Otherwise, I'm always interested in opposite. So it's always an opposite. Sukha and dukkha are opposite. Fame and defame is opposite. Labha, alabha is an opposite. So in the worldly thing, male and female is also an opposite. So Ravindra, we are tuned to have a feminine mentality as a masculine, and a female is tuned to have a masculine mentality when the person is feminine, because you want the other side of it, because it is arati, boring. Kamayate patamasena arati dutiya uchyati. That means arati is dissatisfaction, boredom. So I immediately get arati. Kupipasat titiya. That is, kupipasa means hunger and thirst is third. Tanha chatutta. Tanha is craving. So this goes in this way. I have a discursive thought. The subject has come. Interesting. So Chandarag. Same one. Boring. If May were to come to my home and stay with me for, say, 1 year, I get bored of May, or she will get bored of me. But you have to make things interesting. So what May did is to get married, and she has interesting thing. She has 2 children. So that is interesting. Otherwise, it's boring. So now you need something to create an interest. Otherwise, there's boredom instantaneously. And there's hunger and thirst. Mental hunger, mental thirst, body hunger, body thirst. And that thirst is endless. The tanha, craving. Yes, Sachin.
Which sutta you are reading? Kamate Bhatmasena?
This is Pathama Sutta. Pathama Sutta.
Oh, can you tell me?
I can search and send it in the end. But that is Pathama Sutta. Maybe wait a second. Maybe I can do that right away. If that makes sense to all of you, 1 second. Give me a. What I can do. It's in. No. Sorry, Padhana Sutta, not Pathama Sutta. I think so. That's the one. No, we didn't give me that result. Hold on.
Okay, leave it. I will
No,
find it.
wait.
This is sufficient. I found that line.
You found it?
No, line I found, I will stretch it to the sutta. You continue.
No, let me not give up. Let's say last one. I can't find it. Wait.
SNP 3.02.
You got the sutta? Is Padhana Sutta only, but it is not the one what I am searching for. Wait, you'll get it. Okay, let me search and send it to you. But that is Padhana Sutta. That much I know. But I am not getting which Padhana Sutta, because there are in Sanyukta Nikaya also Padhana Sutta. In Anguttara Nikaya also there is Padhana Sutta. Can I do like this?
Yeah, I verified. It is SNP 3.02.
SN?
SNP
SN?
Khuddaka Nikaya.
No, it is sorry, Sutta Nipata, SNP.
SNP. It is not part of Khuddaka Nikaya.
It is part of Sutta Pitaka. Yeah, SNP?
SNP 3.2.
3.2. Padhana Sutta. That is Padhana Sutta only. Why it doesn't show, I don't know. Yes, so here if you go, you'll find Kamate Patamam Sena. It is like this: Kamate Patama Sena Dutiya Arati Uchati Tatiya Kupipasate Chatutti Tanaha Pavuchati Panchamam Thinamidam Te Chatta Bhiru Pavuchati Sattami Vichikicha Te Makko Tambo Te Attamo Labo Siloko Sakharo Micha Ladho Cha Ya Yaso Yo Chittanam Samukham Se Parecha Ava Janati Esa Namuchi Te Sena Kanhasa Abhippa Harini Na Nam Asuro Jinati Jetva Cha Labate Sukham. This is a whole 10 armies of Mara.
Kana is one of the army, right?
Kanha is dark.
Dark.
Like Kana as in this Krishna. It's dark. So what it means is that you dark person, I have seen you, you can't win over me. That's what it would mean. So anyway, coming back to this subject, is that we see feminine because the Kama Te Patama Sena, which refers to the initial thought, initial discernment which I get when I see an object, whether to welcome it or unwelcome it. That's exactly what I want to do. Should I welcome or shouldn't I welcome? If I welcome, what happens? Then the Chandaraga will be there, or dosa will come, or moha will be there. So first I need to have a moha for that object, and then it will turn itself into raga if I like that object. So generally we are tuned to find the opposite side. Always. Our search is for something opposite. If there is alabha, you want labha. Then is ayasha, you want yasha. If there is ninda, you want this prasamsa. If you have dukkha, you want sukha. These four things is already ingrained in the chitta. So the highest sukha is sexuality. And we strive for that. So the moment I quit sex, That's it. Slowly the femininity will go away from the mind of a man. Because the kamate patamasena, that sensual thoughts or sexual thoughts or whatever we could think of, that doesn't arise. Because then there's no arati. Arati is a dissatisfaction / boredom. Then there is no hunger and thirst for that. Then there is no tanha. It's a beautiful way to come out of this madness. So, panchamam thinamidham te. So, there is no thinamidana. So, there is nothing called sloth and torpor. Chatha bhirupa vuchyati. The fear is gone. Fear of death is gone. Sattami visikichate. Anyway, the yonisam manasikara is there. So there is no visikicha. Makho thambo te attamo. Makho thambo is that is deceiving nature of the person. Thambo is to do all kind of unwanted things to get that object. Te attamo. Labho siloko sakharo. Labha is profit. Siloko is an idea of appreciation. Sakkaro is people should call me and say, Vilas, you're so good, you're so great, and all that. And Micha Ladho. Ladho is the punya what I've got. So then Micha Ladho is, I feel that if somebody were to keep on appreciating me, I get that punya. Yo yaso. Yashas means ayasha yasha, fame. What you're talking is a fame. Yo chattanam samukhamasse. So these four, samukhamasse, samukha, that is when it comes together, purecha avajanati, a person gets completely engrossed in that. But one who finds it is esa namuchi te sena. I have now seen your sena. Kanha sa abhipaharini. I have cut off your sena. Nanam asuro jinati. Now asura I have won over you. Jatva cha labate sukham. Now this sukha cannot be taken out from me. That is nibbana. So if you cut the kama, everything else is perfect. Cut the kama means what? Is that don't make it nanatta. Make it ekatta. Understand your body, your mind, and everything else is the same. Okay. Any further questions on this? We can move into the next one. Bahudhatukasutta. Sure? All good? Okay. Now let's come into that. This is a very important sutta. We might have read it, but we might not have come totally understanding into it. So something we need to know is that Pandito, Balato and Pandito. Balato means childlike. Pandito means one who have seen the world, one who have understood what the world is made up of. So Pandita is the one who understands the quality. Now Bahudhatu, Dhatu is put as elements, but it looks crazy to say Sukha element and Dukkha element and all that. It's a quality rather than an element. So it doesn't come under this Pathavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo like that, which is called as an element. Like Vijnana cannot be called as an element. It's a quality. The Vijnana quality is to discern, is to cognize. In the same way, Pathavi quality is to have hardness and softness. And Apo is to have the flowing nature and bonding nature, like that. So what are we now talking about is two things, important things, Bala and Pandita. Bala is child, one who is ignorant of what it is, just takes things as presented and takes it as true. And Pandita is the one who is in Vipassana and has done Anupassana, who knows what it is and also is investigated, meaning he has investigated and he has gone deeper into what that thing is, how it has come to be. It is called Bhuta. Yatha Bhuta Jnana is a Pandita. Lokika or Lokiya Jnana is Bala. Lokiya Jnana is a person who is tuned to believe that you have a wife, and he believes, yes, I have a wife. And is a put that you have a children, and he says, I'm having children. And somebody says that you are an Indian or an American or a Burmese or a Sri Lankan or an Australian or something like that. And he believes that to be 100% true. That's a Bala. Pandita is the one who knows that there's nothing like that. It's just some label put on something. So now we are ready for the dhatu. So there are two dhatus. Sankhata dhatu, asankhata dhatu. Sankhata dhatu is the one which is conditioned like I'm an Indian, I'm an Australian, I'm a New Zealander, like that. Asankhata dhatu is the one where there is nothing like that. So two dhatus, don't forget, is Sankhata, Asankhata. Sankhata is conditioned, Asankhata is unconditioned. Conditioned by what? Conditioned by concepts. Asankhata is unconditioned, as it is. What do you mean as it is? As it is means you have seen how it has become, how Vilas has become. There was no Vilas initially. Came out of the womb. His parents thought that it is good to name him as Vilas, so he now has been told all the time, your Vilas, your Vilas, your Vilas. And the mind has been tuned now to believe that, I am Vilas. So somebody says, are you 32 part of the body? I would say yes. Actually, that's true. But then it is very difficult to keep on saying 32 part of the body. I said, Vilas. But internally, do I know it is the 32 part of the body? Yes. And hence Pandita. I can discern the dhatu. What dhatu? Pathavi dhatu, apo dhatu, tejo dhatu, vayo dhatu, vinyana dhatu. These are the 6 dhatus which is made of a person. If somebody asks me that I don't think so you are Vilas, and my answer is yes, I am Pathavi dhatu, apo dhatu, tejo dhatu, vayo dhatu, and akasa dhatu and vinyana dhatu. That's correct. So if I put into the dhatu, is there any raga for dhatu? No. Is there any dvesha for the dhatu? No. Is there any moha for the dhatu? No. Are you in Nibbana? Yes. Simple. If Vilas is there, now the problem starts. Now Vilas is an Indian. First problem. Why it's a problem? Because you have to identify you're an Indian. What if Vilas surrenders his passport and comes to New Zealand and gets a PR and applies for a New Zealand passport and he becomes a New Zealander? Can it be possible? Yes. How? Just a document change. But did it really mean that he is now a New Zealander? Yes, as far as the world goes, true. But as far as the dhatu goes, nothing has changed. Pathavi has been Pathavi, Apo has been Apo, Tejo has been Tejo, Vayu has been Vayu, Akasa has been Akasa, and Vinyana has been Vinyana. What has changed from the last time? The dhatus have changed, meaning the dhatus are not there in their original sense. They are keeping on moving. So they are arising and passing away. So a Pandita is the one who can see this arising and passing away of the being. The so-called being is the 6th dhatu. So now he sees Sankata. He can really say, yes, I've understood Sankata. It's conditioned. The name Vilas can only survive as long as the life form exists in Vilas and it associated with the 6 dhatus. If the Vijnana dhatu were to go away, then the 5 elements will not function. So the 5 qualities, Akasa dhatu is spaciousness. It is occupied space. Then there is Vayu, there's movement. Then there is Tejo, there's heat. All of that have come together because there is Vijnana, consciousness. What if the Vijnana were to go away? Is he then a New Zealander dying? Yes, as per passport, it is New Zealand. If the passport is Indian, an Indian has died. But actually, who died? Who is this who died? The Sankata. That's all was the death. And these are the 2 dhatus. Sankata dhatu, Asankata dhatu. So what Buddha does here, he then says that Yatha ko ananda bhikkhu dhatu kusalocha hoti, ayatana kusalocha hoti, paticca samutpada kusalocha hoti, thana thana kusalocha hoti, yattavata ko ananda pandito bhikkhu vimamsako iti alam vachaniyati. So, Ananda asks, Kittavatanu ko bhante pandito bhikkhu vimamsako alam vachaniya hoti. How do you say, dear sir, a person is a pandita? In what manner do you describe a pandita? One who knows. And vimamsaka. Vimamsaka means one who inquires. One who inquires what is real and what is unreal. How does he inquire? What does he do? And why do you say he is a pandita? In what form do you explain that? So then he says, Yathako ananda bhikkhu dhatu kusala cha hoti. He has understood all kind of dhatu. Ayatana kusala cha hoti. He has understood the senses, and that is a sense basis and the appropriate object of the senses, ayatana kusala. Paticca samutpada kusalo cha hoti. He has understood the dependent origination from the anuloma patiloma cycle, that is on one side arising and other side cessation. Thana thana kusalo hoti. Thana means established. Athana is unestablished. What has taken up and what has not taken up, or what is possible and what is impossible. Yathavata ko ananda pandito bhikkhu vimamsako ti alam vachaniya iti. So he would know this much, these 4 things. Which are those 4? Dhatu, ayatana, paticca samutpada, thana, athana, kusala. All are kusala. So when we say kusala, chitta is not the 10 immoral deeds. We have left it at Sotapanna state. Now we have come into the kusala, which will take us to anagami. So at anagami level, the person knows dhatu, ayatana, patisamutpada, thana, thana. So that is our development. Okay. Now he asks further. Kittavata panabhante dhatu kusalo bhikkhuti alam vachaniyati. 18 sakho ima ananda dhatuyo. Chakku dhatu, rupa dhatu, chakku vinyana dhatu, sota dhatu, saddha dhatu, sota vinyana dhatu, ghana dhatu, gandha dhatu, ghana vinyana dhatu, jivha dhatu, rasa dhatu, jivha vinyana dhatu, kaya dhatu, pottabha dhatu, kaya vinyana dhatu, mano dhatu, dhamma dhatu, mano vinyana dhatu, ima ko ananda 18 dhatuya yato janati pasati yatta vatapi ko ananda dhatu kusalo bhikkhuti alam vachaniya. I say A person who knows this dhatu can now inquire, what are these dhatus? So he knows and he inquires. So what is the chakku dhatu? What is the function of chakku dhatu? The function of chakku dhatu is to see. Very good. Then why are you taking something else as non-seen as seen? Meaning, if you're seeing a body, that's just a body. Why are you now calling it as vilas? That's the point of investigation, vimamsa. So, chakku dhatu, rupa dhatu, chakku vinyana dhatu. In the chakku vinyana dhatu, what should come? Only the body. What is coming? Vilas. Inquire, how is vilas coming? Then you will find it is dhamma dhatu already, because there is mano dhatu, which is discerning it that this body is vilas. And in the mano vinyana dhatu, it appears as vilas. Now, using all the five senses with the five respective objects, I inquire and find there is no I at all. It's an individual part. Chakku is chakku, rupa is rupa, vinyana is vinyana, sota is sota, saddha is saddha, and that vinyana is vinyana, ghana is ghana, gandha is gandha, then the ghana vinyana is just the vinyana. So dhite dhite mattam, sute sute mattam, mute mute mattam, vinyate vinyata mattam can be experienced. How? By inquiry, vimamsa. So Pandita does what? What does the Pandita do? Pandita knows these four. Dhatu kusalo, ayatana kusalo, paticca samutpada kusalo, thana kusalo. And he inquires it. So now he is inquiring these 18. If he does that all the time, then what happens? The klesas are no longer there. Asavas are gone because they cannot survive. If vilas is removed, in its place only dhatu exists. So you have to only say now chakku dhatu, rupa dhatu, chakku vinyana dhatu, sota dhatu, saddha dhatu, saddha vinyana dhatu, ghana dhatu, gandha dhatu, ghana vinyana dhatu, rasa, this one, jiva dhatu, rasa dhatu, jiva vinyana dhatu, kaya dhatu, uttabba dhatu, kaya vinyana dhatu, mano dhatu, dhamma dhatu, dhamma vinyana dhatu. I have nothing to do with these 18 dhatus or qualities. I don't have to do anything. I am just an observer. So if I see Sachin, if I see May, if I see Ravindra, all that exists is this 18 dhatus. Or instead of complicating so much, I can say Pathavi dhatu, Apo dhatu, Tejo dhatu, Vayo dhatu, Akasa dhatu, Vinyana dhatu. That is difficult. Sankhata dhatu, Asankhata dhatu. That's even more easier. Vilas is conditioned phenomena. There is no vilas because as long as the body is there, it's conditioned. Conditioned by what? By food. What else will be conditioned? This body is growing because of food. And mind is growing due to what? Mind is growing due to tanha, craving. That's all. Craving for objects. Why don't I cut the tanha? And that's it. Over. It doesn't grow. No man, no woman. Because it grows because there's always a thought on that. There's always a desire to know. And I stop this desire of knowing what that object is. Instead, I will discern that object in its real sense. Is that object independent or dependent? It's 100% dependent. There's no independence of it at all. As soon as it strikes my eye, this dependency is seen. If it did not strike, nothing that can come. Only when it strikes, it comes. So now I know this is not the right thing. Then Ananda goes another step further. He says, sir, this seems to be complicated. Is there any other way you can explain? So I just now spoke about Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu, Akasa and Vijnana. Then he asked, okay, if somebody cannot do that, then what else can he do? So he says, Sukha Dhatu, Dukkha Dhatu, Somanasa Dhatu, Domanasa Dhatu, Upekha Dhatu, Avijja Dhatu. This is most interesting thing here. Very interesting. This we can do it. If any object is giving you pleasure, or body pleasure first, I'm sitting like this and I'm feeling so light. That's a quality of sukha. Just note it. This is sukha. You caught it. You caught that vijnana in it act, magician. This is sukha. Yes. Now there's a body pain. Oh my God. So much shit. I have to stretch it. This is dukkha dhatu. Why? You can experience the pain. It's pain. Or what else? I don't have to go and prove another person this is pain. And looking at my face, the person can sense that he is in pain. Because that's the quality of it. Now.
So basically he's doing the minimization or withdrawing from diversity of dhatu
Yes.
to minimum diversity. Right? Chitta, if he stays with Vedana, he need not to multi-diverse dhatu.
Yes, exactly.
Just know this much. If you can, that is sufficient.
That's sufficient. Only just see, like, I have a pain in the shoulder. So the moment I stretch it like this and I try to bringing it, and the face automatically changes. In the chitta, when the pain comes, the face changes. That is quite evident. And if there's a pleasure, and the face changes. It can be seen. Now the same way, so manasa, eating an ice cream during a very hot summer, anything cold, that feeling, anybody can make out. He is enjoying that ice cream. So manasa. A very hot substance has gone into the mouth, or a bad odor has gone into the nose, a bad sight has come, a bad sound is coming, a bad touch has happened, and there is domanasa. It's quite evident. That's a quality of domanasa. Is to feel withdrawn. You don't feel like doing anything. You feel heavy in the mind. The body is light, but the mind is totally heavy. It's consumed. It's domanasa. Then upekha dhatu. Avijja is the highest form of upekha. Knowledge of that same upekha will give you equanimity. Meaning,
Can you repeat?
yes, avijja is the highest form of upekha. The neutral feeling you will never be able to identify. If you could identify the neutral, then you are an arhat. Because that upekha is non-reaction. There's no reaction to anything. Any sixth sense basis giving anything, there is no reaction. There's absolutely no reaction. Example. Now there's an election season in India. In a few weeks from today, the election is going to start. A lot of preparations, sankharas are happening. If I don't get involved with the parties totally, even though I'm watching the video or somebody sending me some news article, etc., I'm not getting in two dimensions, two sides, dual. Then there is middle, upekha. If I can catch that upekha, That's a dhatu of equanimity. You're equanimous. You're not going to take the side.
And avidya?
Avijja is not knowing that. That's the highest form of it, right? At that time, you need to notice it as upekha, and you wouldn't know that.
See, this ring, this group of six is actually in the domain of feeling, right? Sukha, dukkha, domanasa, upekha. So he put avidya into the domain of feeling.
Yes, the next when he comes, he will talk
And
about
this,
avijja.
this neutral is a feeling. It could be avidya, it could be upekha.
Yeah, knowing that is vijja, not knowing it is avijja. At that moment, I should know this is upekha, and you can stay in upekha. Once you catch that upekha, you can be in upekha, because that's a quality of upekha, is to be equanimous. You are not moving in, the mind is not moving anywhere. It's stilled. Okay, so then he says upekha dhatu, right? And avijja dhatu. You see what I was speaking about. The next one is avijja dhatu.
Yeah, so you didn't read it. I was asking from that only. Why avidya dhatu?
So I was talking about when you don't know the upekha, it is avijja. So that the dhatu of avijja is being ignorant of non-neutral feeling, or rather neutral feeling.
And from this, the dependent origination starts.
Yes, avijja pachaya sankhara is, I have a neutral feeling which I don't know that feeling, but I want a sukha vedana, so I want to make it sukha. So the sankharas are getting formed to make something which cannot be made to be made up as sukha. So there's an
Yeah,
effort.
so you don't know feeling as feeling. You are feeling now.
Yes.
I am feeling, that is avidya. I know feeling as feeling, that is vidya.
Yes. So now I need to fill it up with something. And what will I fill up? I want the sight, I want to see, I want to have the sound, I want to hear. I want to taste the way I want to taste it. I want to touch something I want to touch. I want to smell the one which I would love to smell. I want to think on those which I can grasp it, get it. And these six dhatus are dependent on the objects. They are not dependent on me. Now this is foolishness.
Yeah, these six dhatu want to run toward the
18 dhatus.
Hmm.
Okay. Or 6 dhatus. Now we are come to this 6 dhatu. That is sukha dhatu, dukkha dhatu, somanasa dhatu, domanasa dhatu, upekha dhatu, avijja dhatu. Most important, Arhat has no thing called as avijja because he has discerned all the 5 dhatus. He knows what is sukha, what is dukkha, what is somanasa, what is domanasa, what is upekha. And he doesn't get attached to any one of these dhatus, and hence an arhat.
He knows me, he knows real time.
He knows the actual what the dhatu is, what the quality is. So he is not impressed by it. He is not lost in it. He doesn't take it as me and mine. Eso na mama, eso na ham asmi, eso na me atta. This is what he would have experienced. So he just observes and smiles at it. Aha, this is sukha dhatu. Okay, good. This is dukkha dhatu. Ah, oh man, this is dukkha dhatu. Yeah, this is dukkha dhatu. This is somanasa dhatu. Ah, this is domanasa. Heaviness of the mind. It's so heavy. It's like lifting a huge rock. This upekha. Equanimous. And this is avijja dhatu. When I get involved with vilas, this is avijja dhatu. The quality of avijja is to take what is unreal as real. And if we take Vedanta view, we can say Brahman Satya Jagat Mithya. Jiva Jiva Ishvara na paraha. That means there is no difference between Jivi and Ishvara. It is all the same. Because of ignorance, you are taking Jivi as one thing and an Ishvara as another thing. They both are same. Okay. So anyway, coming back to this subject is that these are the 6 dhatus. 6 different dhatus. Now he says there should be some other method. Yeah, if you think this is difficult, sukha, dukkha, somanasa and all that, I will teach you another which is very simple.
Actually, the sequence is very important. Now he's going subtle.
Yes, I will teach you. Yeah,
He's leaving Vedana and now he's entering into Chitta. These are 6 elements of Chitta.
yes. Then he says that if you think that was difficult for you, so let me give you something. Kama dhatu, nekkhamma dhatu, vyapada dhatu, abhyapada dhatu, vihimsa dhatu, avihimsa dhatu. Now, it's beautiful one. What is the quality of kama? To be hungry. Simple. Unsatisfying nature is the part of kama. Kama te pathamasena. Don't forget that. Then arati will come. Then kuppipasa. Then tanha. Then thinamida. Like that. Bhiru, fear of losing it. Right? Now what I can do? I can smile at the kama dhatu. Ha, this is kama dhatu. Or there's no person, it's just kama dhatu. It's just kama dhatu. I got it. And what happens? Nekkhamma takes over. Why? Because there's no kama. And what's the quality of nekkhamma? To give up. Simple. Beautiful feeling. You give up something which was anyway trash. Now, I'll give up Vilas. What happens? Vilas will die. What is my problem? Because karma is Vilas. And Vilas cannot be saved. By its own nature, it cannot be saved. If Vilas cannot be saved, isn't it right to give him up? Okay, done. Then what happens? Nekkhamma. The hunger to hold on to Vilas is completely gone. If Vilas doesn't exist, can he have a wife now? No. Can he have a son? No. Can he have a house? No. Can he have money? No. Can he have a passport? No. Can he be called as an Indian? No. Can he be called as any other than Indian or some other countryman? No. You mean to say he exists? No. You mean to say he doesn't exist? No. You mean to say he exists and also doesn't exist? No. All are no. Why? Because these are absolute statements, which we have seen it in Bahudhatukasutta. So the moment you remove the kama dhatu, nekkhamma dhatu takes over. And in nekkhamma dhatu, there is no absoluteness. So I'm asking, does Vilas exist? And it exists dependent on a condition. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I didn't say that it doesn't exist. It exists either. I'm not saying it exists and neither exist, nor exist. Any one of those, it's called as, in English, called as this tetralemma. 4 ways. And in Pali, Sanskrit, it is called as this, there's a way to argument, it is called as Chatushkoti. Chatushkoti. Chatushkoti is a way of putting one absolute and negating it at the other side, so that a person has to take one side. If you say it doesn't exist, that means it exists. If you say that it exists, that means something shouldn't be existing. So you have to now take sides. So when you take side, it becomes absolute. So the whole idea is to create an absoluteness. Okay. So now how he says, Jiva, yes. Yes, Asad, you didn't? Oh, you didn't? Okay. You just did like this. I thought you wanted to ask something. So, Anyam Jivam Anyam shariram, tajjivam tad shariram. Okay, very four things. This is basic asked. This body, this life are the same. Tam jivam, tam shariram. This jiva and this sharira are same. Anyam jivam, anyam shariram. This body is one thing and this life is another thing. They both are different. Now, which one? Now, Buddha doesn't answer to that. Anantavalo, antavaloko, anantavaloko. Antavaloko. World is ending. Anantavaloko. World is endless. You see this fun? So, this kind of Chatushkoti argument is as foolish as saying Vilas is one thing and the body is another thing. Or Vilas and body are the same thing. Which one? And it's foolishness. Because it is Patavi Dhatu, Apo Dhatu, Tejo Dhatu, Vayo Dhatu, Akasa Dhatu, Vijnana Dhatu. Or I can take it as Kama Dhatu, Ekkamma Dhatu, Vyapada Dhatu, Abhyapada Dhatu, Vihimsa Dhatu, Avihimsa Dhatu. So if Kama is to be there, then Vyapada is going to be there. And Vyapada going to be there, Vihimsa is going to be there. If Nekkhamma is going to be there, then Abhyapada is going to be there. If Abhyapada is going to be there, and so Avihimsa is going to be there. Nekkhamma Sankappo, Abhyapada Sankappo, Avihimsa Sankappo is Samma Sankappo. So now you are in a proper discernment of the dhatu. So then he asks another question. He says, okay, you don't want like this, Kama Dhatu, Rupa Dhatu, Arupa Dhatu. It's even more subtler. All the six sense doors are Kama Dhatu. The feeling that this is the Rupa is a Rupa Dhatu. And the feeling that this is not the Rupa, like when I get into the jhana, especially if I do the Vipassana method of Goenka, when the bhanga happens, literally you know you are in Arupa jhana at the time of the bhanga. So it's Arupa. So the three dhatus are seen. Number one, when I'm doing sitting meditation, day 1, day 2, day 3, say day 4 when the Vipassana starts, day 5 till then, the Kama Dhatu is reduced with the Rupa Dhatu being there. Only the Rupa is felt. There's nothing else which is being felt. So when you say Dhara Pravaha or free flow, it is just the Rupa Dhatu. That's the quality of the Rupa. So Dhara Pravaha is Rupa Dhatu. Bhanga is Arupa Dhatu. So Kama Dhatu, Rupa Dhatu, Arupa Dhatu. So those who practice Vipassana method or Burmese method, they would be knowing all the three dhatus. Kama Dhatu, Rupa Dhatu, Arupa Dhatu. So this is good. So when the bhanga happens, you're literally in removed out of the Rupa. To then extent that unless you really want to feel the Rupa, then only you feel the body. Otherwise, you don't feel the Rupa. So it's the highest form of pleasure in jhanic. Because there is no body. It is a beautiful feeling. And not only the body, the connection between the Manomaya Kaya and the Rupa Kaya are disconnected. So the Mano Vijnana and the Mano Vijnana Dhatu, that is Mano Dhatu, Mano Vijnana Dhatu has the Dhamma Dhatu. There are no Dhammas any longer. So at that moment of bhanga, the Chakku Vijnana Dhatu, Sota Vijnana Dhatu, Ghana Vijnana Dhatu, Jivha Vijnana Dhatu, Kaya Vijnana Dhatu, Mano Vijnana Dhatu doesn't get a footing and six senses closes. And you are in Arupa. So you would know it is Kama Dhatu to begin with. Sixth day or fifth day, 6, 7, 8, 9, let's say, you get Rupa Dhatu, Arupa Dhatu in various degrees. And if you totally disconnect from both the Rupa and Arupa, you are in Nibbana. So because that senses are closed. So the last one to close is Mano Vinyana Dhatu. It's waiting for input from Mano Dhatu. Since there are no Dhammas, there are no Vitak, no Dhammas are there. So it stops. Because anyway, all the five senses are closed. So the sixth sense door is completely closed. So with understanding of the 18 dhatus or understanding of 6 dhatus or in various other combination, including this, what we are talking about, you get to see Kama Dhatu, Rupa Dhatu, Arupa Dhatu. So the Vipassana of Goenka or Ubakhin helps us to get into the Rupa, Arupa and Kama, or Kama, Rupa, Arupa. Then he says there should be something else, so which we already covered. It is Sankhata Dhatu, Asankhata Dhatu. Okay, so this is the Dhatu. In the Bahudhatu, these are the various ways of understanding Dhatu, starting with Sankhata Dhatu, Asankhata Dhatu. Then we came up with the Kama Dhatu, Rupa Dhatu, Arupa Dhatu. Then we came up with Kama Dhatu, Nekkhamma Dhatu, Vyapada Dhatu, Abhyapada Dhatu, Vihimsa Dhatu, Avihimsa Dhatu. Then we came up with Sukha Dhatu, Dukkha Dhatu, Somanasa Dhatu, Domanasa Dhatu, Upekha Dhatu, Avijja Dhatu. Then we came to Patavi Dhatu, Apo Dhatu, Tejo Dhatu, Vayo Dhatu, Akasa Dhatu, and Vinyana Dhatu, and the 18 Dhatus. So if we are able to investigate Vimamsa in any one of these dhatus, the ultimate thing is Nibbana, because it breaks. In the mind, cannot hold on to it. So I can take 6 dhatus, Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo, Akasa, Vinya, like that. Or I can take, what is this Chakku dhatu? Its subjective is only to see. That's all. Only to see, only to hear, only to smell, only to taste, only to touch, only to cognize. Dhite dhite mattam, sute sute mattam, mute mute mattam, vinyate vinyate mattam. Natena natat ubhayam antare. If I don't take anything at all, then I'm in Nibbana. All these dhatus will get me to Nibbana. So 18 dhatus, Nibbana. 6 dhatus, Nibbana. Another 6 kind of dhatus, Nibbana. Another 6 kind of dhatus, Nibbana. 3 kind of dhatus, Nibbana. 2 kind of dhatu, Nibbana. So, am I a Pandita? Yes. If you know these dhatus. Yes, Asad. Now you have raised. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, now officially I raise my hand.
Yeah, go ahead.
Very well. So a bit of my background or understanding, which mostly comes from the Goenka tradition and the way Goenka explain it. He suggests that the only way that you could experience, go all the way to arahantship, is to have a feeling, a sensation in the body, whatever you are doing, regardless. With this dhatu, the way you are explaining is just dealing with the sanya, rather than, so this is like a 3 layers of the I don't know, 4 layers: sankhara, sensation, or must have vinyana, and the sanya. So this, the dhatu, looks like to me, and I practice it with you as well. It works very well. It takes you to the jhana and all sort of stuff. The thing is that my understanding, I mean, that's what do you think? What do you have for that? What do you reckon?
Asad, we have gone into detail of this, so there's no point in getting back into the details. So there are 2 ways of seeing things for some people. It's better by the body because everything happens in the body and they think everything is in the body, and that is fine. Okay. But you have to understand one thing. There is nothing called as a body. Number one. Number two, he says mano pubbangama dhamma. He doesn't say kaya puggama dhamma. Mano pubbangama dhamma. Mano setta manomaya. It's everything happening in the mind. It's happening in the chitta. Even the experience which is happening in the kaya is from the chitta. Kaya cannot experience things by itself. But however, like what Uba Khin said in one of the videos, there are many ways of doing, and we do it from kaya, which is perfect. But if somebody were to argue that it's only through kaya, then he has misunderstood it. Or he should see the Uba Khin video again.
I do believe, and I watched what that 26 minutes from the Ubakin he explained, and he says we take body, we see the sensation in the body because we found it's much easier for people and it's a larger area, so it would be much easier to start with. But he said, be my guest. You could start with any of those six. Is it six? Yeah, I know, five, six. Yeah, six. You could start with any of them. But what they suggest is that they said that you have to have the feeling with that, regardless of which one you are starting. As long as you have a feeling. I mean, the way that Goenka says, he says, if you are having a thought, the moment you have a thought, I have a feeling at the same time with it as well. The thought is
You're
going,
right.
but
See, now thing is,
it's
the body feeling has an eye feeling also, EYE, and ear feeling also. Like there's a nose feeling also. There is a body feeling. There is a mind feeling. So you all have its own feelings. So when we take feeling, what is a feeling? If you have read any of the Sanyukta Nikaya, it says what it says. Chakku sampajjasa vedana, sota sampajjasa vedana, ghana sampajjasa vedana, kaya sampajjasa vedana. That doesn't mean that kaya has no vedana at all. And what Ubakin has taken is kaya sampajjasa vedana, which is fair. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So there's nothing to fight. That no, he should have taken chakku also, sota also, ghana also, like that. No, it's not required. You take whatever you think is conducive for, let us say, the objective is what? To get rid of Namarupa. That's the whole objective, right? Now, when you cut off the Namarupa, then what happens is the six sense doors will close because it requires Nama and Rupa to be formed somewhere, right? If it doesn't form, raise a question.
Disturbance is coming.
Asad, just mute your. Yeah.
yes.
No, there is something which is now it is gone. So what I was trying to say, Asad, is that if I take whichever chakku, sota, ghana, jiva, kaya, mano, six, whichever six I take, I get its respective vedana. If I stick on to the vedana, it opens up the sanya. If I understand the sanya, it will open up the sankhara. If I observe the sankhara, it will open up the vijnana. Now on the vijnana comes the namarupa. Now you discern the namarupa, that feeling itself will go away, which will make it upekha. And one second. So once you're in upekha, the six sense doors will close. All the six. It's not that I started with chakku means only chakku will close and the remaining are open. Doesn't mean that I started with kaya, doesn't mean that only the kaya will close and everything else is open. No. All the six sense doors are closed. You take one, whichever one you think you can practice. If you are comfortable with Ubakin Goenka practice, go ahead. If you are not comfortable getting that, whatever they are speaking about, don't waste time. Take any other sutta where you can practice, but take that completely, whatever it is. Okay, so we can do it in various ways. So there is nothing which can stop us from getting the same knowledge the jnana, the knowledge, and the wisdom, panya, from that. So let's take Goenka technique, which I have done also. What happens? It dissolves. If I do with chakku, will it not dissolve? Yes. If I do with sota, will it not dissolve? Yes. If I do with ghana, will it not dissolve? Yes. If I do with jivha, will it not dissolve? Yes. If I do it with mano, will it not dissolve? Yes. That doesn't mean that if somebody is taking kaya, he will never be able to do it. If somebody is doing with chakku, he will never be able to do it. No, nothing like that. We can do whatever we want. So now what's the difference? In the body, I have to make the body stable. Even for eye, ears, nose, tongue, and all that, you need to make the body stable. Because the six senses are where? In the body only. Where else it will be? Will it be in some other place? No. And it's there in the face only. It is not there anywhere else. Eye is there in the face. Ears are there on the face only. They are not there somewhere else. Nose is there in the face. Tongue is also there in the face. This body means the skin. There in the face. Tongue is there. Body is there. The mano is everywhere. Everywhere in the body there is mano. So that's it. Over. So that doesn't mean that I can't take the body for contemplation. Yes, you take the body. The feeling will not arise. They will arise. Does it mean it's a chakku feeling which is arising? No, it is kaya feeling which is arising. So you will go to get the pottabha and kaya vinyana dhatu will be understood. Fine, fair. But when dissolution happens, bhanga happens, is it not happening through the all senses? Yes, it is. So it doesn't matter whether I started with kaya or I started with chakku or with sota or with ghana or with jivha. Doesn't matter. But all the five are in where? It's in mano. Please understand that. They are not in the physical. They are in the mano. So, that is the reason Buddha says, mano pubbangama dhamma, mano setta manomaya. It's not kaya pubbangama dhamma, kaya setta kayomaya. He says manomaya. Why? Because ultimately, when the body dissolves, what remains is the chitta, the mind. So where is the pleasure and the pain and the nibbana seen? In the chitta, not in the body, not in the chakku, not in the sotha, not in the jivha, not in the kaya, not in the ghana, but in the mano. The moment the mano dhatu stops, the dhamma is not there. And when the dhamma is not there, mano vinyana dhatu will not be there. And when the mano vinyana dhatu is not there, the senses are helpless. They close. And once they close, whenever they close, you know it is closed. And the nama rupa paricheda jnana has happened, udaya vyaya jnana has happened, and hence, as what Ubakin says, or Goenka says, or Sayadaw says, that's one way of verifying whether you are a sotapanna or not, because the six sense doors are no longer accessible. And when you come back, what do you mean you come back? When the senses are back in its original form, you know that you went into a dimension which is asankata. It was unconditioned from the beginning, whereas everything else was conditioned. Now you know it works. And now you are a sotapanna or sakadagami, anagami in that tradition, however they define. Okay, fine, no worries. Absolutely fair. So hope Asad I answered to your question.
Yes, yes.
I have a point here.
Yeah.
In a sense, the Goenka is 100% right. We are very close, including you, me, and uh, anyone who is not following Vipassana or following of Goenka, most of the time we are at gross level, and all the time Vedana is always co-arise or assisted with physical senses. So even though they are not same, but they are not separate.
Yes,
Most of the time, and to see the feeling in the chitta is not so easy.
correct.
So we can get a hint from body sensation. There is no other way. You can call it nimitta of the Vedana, but it is the only way you can directly see the Vedana.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Sachin.
And going forward,
Yes,
even in those traditions, what the Pao tradition or any Burmese tradition, the point is to come to the heart area, where is hadaya vattu is there, where is exactly chitta is there, and there if you focus in the higher state of samadhi, you can directly see this feeling in hadaya vattu. So going forward, they all will tell. They will not tell to everyone. But whoever has mastered in those traditions, they will tell them to focus on Hadaya Vattu, which is heart area.
correct.
And there they will see the Vedana directly without assisted by any body senses.
Agreed. I 100% know that. Yes, that is true. Because when I had, just a second, Asa, before you answer. When I had this experience first time in 2016 or 15, somewhere. And that's the time I came to know that what is Hadaya Vattu. So that was my personal experience of seeing without the need for the sixth sense contemplation. So I knew the exact Hadaya Vattu, how it opens up, how it closes, and when it closes, what happens, when it opens up, what happens. So we are starting with the Kaya, but ultimately it is a Hadaya Vattu, the seat of the mind. That's the reason called Hadaya Vattu.
And that's why they are very right to tell everyone that it is always bodily feeling. It is 100% true until you know Hadaya Vattu.
Yes. So when once you see Hadaivattu or once you are experiencing Hadaivattu, there is nothing more to experience as Kaya, Ghana, Jivha, blah blah blah, because you have discerned where it opens and how it opens. So when I saw it for the first time, it's like what Buddha calls like an empty village, and you just go there and there's nobody there inside that village. So 6 villages, let's say. Or I first time when I experienced it, I saw it as a 6 rooms where nothing exists. No thing exists there. Even you enter the room, it seems like you've entered, but there's nothing there. And that's the reason it's called as field, or rather ayatana, means field. You enter that field and you see no one there. It's just like a mirror. You see the person, but there's no person there. It's surprising. And then you hear a sound, there's no sound there. It's just vibration. And you see a sight, there's a vibration. There is a thought, there's just a vibration. There is touch, there's just a vibration. There is eating, there's just a vibration. Ultimately, you see it's just vibrating like this. Just vibrates and stops. Again, it vibrates, again stops. Again vibrates, again stops. This is what Hadaivattu is doing. And when you see it for the first time, that time you are completely mad. Means say that now you see what stupid.
Yeah, and only then you can directly see the Vedana. Otherwise, if you say, let's say I feel good seeing Vilas, I feel happy, where is that Vedana? Right? You will say, okay, there is nowhere in my body there is Vedana, feeling happy by seeing Vilas. But I understood. I feel happy by seeing Vilas. Where is that Vedana? If you do not agree with the concept of bodily feeling, then you will actually creating a concept of Vedana. It's a Dhamma of Vedana. The real Vedana you have not yet seen. So it is, in that sense, it is better to come to a physical sensation rather than conceptual notion called Vedana.
Right. So to answer to what Asad is asking, Asad, Sayadaw, Lady Sayadaw has explained it beautifully about Hadaivattu. Okay. And there's no practice what is mentioned there, and it's not there in the in the Goenka / Ubakin technique per se.
In our tradition, they have clearly, beautifully explained how to.
Yeah, Pak is having that, but not in the Goenka tradition. They have not covered that aspect. But everybody takes from Ledi Sayadaw. So if you are well versed with Sayadaw technique, in that you have hadaya vattu. Vattu means the seed, and hadaya is the heart. So where all the five senses merge together, like, bound like this, one with another, with another, with another. So as soon as one sense door, there's a tapping like this. Okay, there's a tap. Once it's a tap, it vibrates. And that's where you start with Abhidhamma. What Goenka ji talks about Abhidhamma is from there, basically. So there's a shaking. As soon as there's a shaking, it shakes 7 times like this. So there's an aramana, that is rising. And then it's called a tadanga. That means it's shaking and waiting. So Javana Chitta. So 7 Javana Chittas will arise and fall down and arise and fall down. It's just shaking. The hadaya is shaking completely like this. It's in the center of the heart and you can see it. It's not that it can be imagined. Yes, in the center. Yes. And that's the reason we always touch our heart. If you really see, and if you've seen, when you see a girl, there's a feeling in the heart. If you have really observed, forget the girl. When you see an ice cream, there's some feeling in the heart. You should go to that level and there's a vibration, just vibrating. Now it is waiting what to do with that vibration. Based upon that, Kama Chitta will arise instantaneously with that hadaya vattus. So from wherever the input has come, it has come from Chakku, there's a shaking, and then this Vinyana arises, which is Chakku Vinyana. Now that will wait. Based upon what? Based upon your sankhara. So if you want me to go through Abhidhamma way, I can tell you, but you will really experience it. And when you experience it, you will forget all traditions, because it doesn't matter whether this tradition, that tradition, you have seen it. So now it doesn't matter whether it comes from Chakku or Sota or Gana or Jiva, Kaya, Mano, whatever it is. Yeah, it's fine, because everything is in the hadaya vattu only. This doesn't go anywhere.
Even without going the tradition, right now when you say Nama Rupa Pariched Jnana happen or whatever, actually you unknowingly be there only.
Yes, there's no other way.
Ultimately all tradition meet there.
Yes. So Asad, it's like this. If somebody were to ask me in a very gross level, let's take an example. He is totally into Goenkaji tradition. He's relying on that. Should I shake his thought processing? No. No, you please do it. Why? Because that is right. That's absolutely right, because it brings him back into the hadaya vattu. Sooner or later, it will come there. And when it comes there, it shakes. When it shakes, you know it has shaken. And when you see it is shaken, it closes. When it closes, you know it is closed. And when you've seen it is closed, it's called what? Nibbana. That's all.
And you need to at least see Kalapa to see hadaya vattu.
Yes. So now when I went for that 10-day retreat without all expectations, that's what exactly I did, because I know how to enter into it. In 2016, I had done that. And I was initially following the same Ubakin / Goenka technique, and I was reading about Sayadaw from 2012 onwards. So I knew what it means to have a hadaya vattu and what it is and how you to experience. So I was not having any confusion there when I went to that 10-day retreat. I knew what I should be doing. So I cut off everything. Yeah, May, go ahead.
When you say you see it, are you seeing with your mind's eye, or do you mean you feel it? Like, you know,
See, now it's a mind eye. It's a mind eye. So whatever we are trying to develop, called as a discerning, or we call that as an awareness, or we call it as sati, whatever name you want to give, you will see there is a witness, just a witness, and there are actions. The witnessing consciousness has got nothing to do with these actions which are coming and going. Got the point? When in the Buddha says that so satova asasati, satova pasasati, it means you bring an awareness like you are observing it. So who is the observer? You are not. There's no you in that observer. It's just the observer. So when you come to the hadaya vattu, you will see, we have to use the word you will see, but there's only seeing. The six senses arise, wait, stop. Then again, no input, no arising. No input, no arising, and no ceasing. It's beauty, I'm telling you. It's like somebody asked, were you dead? No, I was alive. But you should have known this. No. Were you sleeping then? No. Were you awake? Yes. There's one sutta where Buddha is asked, four oxen will die and 2 human beings die because of a lightning, and the person comes and asks him, did you hear the sound, sir? And he says, no. Why? Because if the 6 senses are closed, there is no way anything can enter. But you have seen it. You, just the consciousness. Anidasana Vinyana has seen it. So the Nidasana Vinyana will die. Got the point? That's the reason in that last line, he says, Vinyanasa Nirodhena Yatte Samuparujjati. And that's exactly what happens. So when Tanhakhayo Virago Nirodho Nibbana, and that happens, this hadaya vattu, which is shaking like this, stop. It's a death. But you are alive. It's a death as death. No doubt on death. But you have achieved deathlessness, amata, because the thing which has died is the 6 senses, not you. Not the you as in the 6 senses. It's just an arising and ceasing. Arising, ceasing of what? 6 sense arising, 6 sense ceasing. The chitta, which is the mind, also arises, also ceases in the same hadaya vattu. It's extraordinary, I'm telling you. The day you see it, you will feel, what stupid is this? It's unbelievable. That means you are dead, but you are alive. Yes, May, go ahead.
So when I'm just trying to clear it in my mind with some examples. Like, let's say something was irritating you, and then you feel this kind of discomfort in your chest or this tightness. Is that the hadaya vattu, and then you are aware, or is
Okay,
it,
let me answer you in this way. Yeah. You were drinking what? Coffee. Just now, earlier you were drinking something, right? What was it? Coffee or tea, or what were you drinking?
just warm water?
Warm water. Okay, warm water. Now, first you need to understand where this sensation arises. When he says sensation, where it arises. It's a good question what Asad asked, or how Sachin was explaining on the hadaya vattu. Good. So, where it arises? Where is the region? Where is the exact spot? Can I find that exact spot? Yes, it's in the heart. So you have to make your mind, meaning mind as in the chitta, to slow down through breath meditation, vipassana as what is done in Goenka tradition, to slow down the whole activity, which will then pull itself towards the center, which is the heart. So when you are recognizing it as a hot water, warm water, the warmness is experienced in the hadaya vattu. The water is experienced in the hadaya vattu, nowhere else. That is the origin, nidana. That's a nidana, origin of that feeling through the jivha. So when the tongue touches, it touches the heart region also along with that. So the heart opens up to pull this heat in and verify from the previous chitta of hotness. It goes and finds, compares same temperature or a different temperature. And the shaking also is accordingly as per that. It shakes violently. If it is more, it will vibrate less. It will even slow down if it is known. Okay. Even when you're holding your glass, that from whatever you're holding, that is experienced in the hadaya vattu. Even the hand is holding, the hand itself is experienced in the hadaya vattu. In kaya vinyana dhatu. If there were no kaya dhatu, there wouldn't have been any pottabha dhatu, or there can't be any kaya vinyana dhatu also. Because there is kaya dhatu, there is a pottabha dhatu, there is kaya vinyana dhatu. And this shaking is like this. When you hold that mug or a glass or whatever, from there the chitta arises with the feeling, vedana, sanya, what it is, how hot it is. It compares from the past, arrives and saying that this can be palatable. So slowly put in the mouth. And the first drop, when it senses here, not inside, here, it is so sensitive that the jivha dhatu, jivha in the hadaya vattu starts to shake. Now this shaking is too much and this shaking is less. The mano dhatu, mind, sense door, will compare these two things and either slow down or modify, and then you keep the thing down because it was not accepted. What was not accepted? That heat was not accepted. So you keep the mug down. It goes, you should be able to see these chittas like that. This is called a chitta viti, the road where the chittas are flowing like that. If you can see chittas like that, then you have seen the hadaya vattu. So the kaya is one thing, the vedana is another thing, the chitta is another thing, like that. And in between these two is the sanya, perception. It keeps on perceiving by comparing. It compares, that time I had hot water like this, and now I am having hot water like this. What should be accepted, rejected, accept, reject, accept, reject. If it is accepted, the body keeps on sipping it. It touches here, first it touches the lips. That's the reason we have a very sensitive thing called lips. Touches the lip, from the lip directly it goes into the hadaya vattu in the kaya. From the tongue it goes on to the jivha, and then they both merge in the mano. Now you can say, I had hot water or warm water. Now where is this warm water created? It's same the chitta in the mano dhatu, mano vinyana dhatu, where the dhamma is created due to adhivachana samphas. Now whatever you are touching and somebody asks what it is, so the warm, because I know warm, you know warm, but is it the exact warm what you're talking? No, it is just an assessment. This assessment is the sanya, perception. You perceive warmth in one way, I perceive warmth in another way. So if you were to give me that glass which you were drinking and say that, Vilas, this is what I was drinking, and I drink and say, me, it is not that hot, that warm, it is cold. You say, no, this is the maximum I can drink, right? Because my hadaya vattu is very slow. When the water is touched in the tongue, it's not going like this, it's going slowly like this. So it doesn't feel that much, right? So good question, but this is deep dhamma what you're asking me, very deep. But if you see six sense doors,
Yeah. So the six universal chaitisika are like Vedana, Sanya, right? Vedana, Sanya, Mansika, Vitak and Vichar are in Hadaya. But
yes,
generally what you call thinking, it's actually loud thinking, verbalized thinking. It is not Vitak Vichar. That thinking, if you observe, you will feel sensation in your mind only.
yes,
Sorry, it's sensation in your head only. Whenever you are thinking, you will feel this region tense. These are loud thinking, verbal thinking. It is actually an expression of that subtle thinking in your heart. So the subtle thinking
exactly.
is very subtle, very subtle which are in your. If you cannot go that far, you need to be developed jhana, stable jhana to see that subtle. Like hours and hours you are thoughtless, then you can see that. Otherwise, whatever I am thinking is actually head, something is happening in your brain, and you can feel that brain senses. That is loud thinking. That is Bohra, what you call Pati Sankara, or actual expression, which involves this also. Even if you are thinking in your mind, like when I was kid first time, my mother told read in your mind. No one, like my brother was not able to read in my mind. I was instantly started reading in my mind. And like everyone was looking at me. At that time, everyone was reading loud. I remember that expression. Now I am thinking also silently. Is it possible? Start thinking silently. Generally, what we internally think actually needs this. There will be a lot of vibration here. So as if you are speaking, even though you think I'm thinking in mind, is actually trying to use this organ, but it's not using. Just observe that. When you are thinking, you are actually speaking. You will feel the vibration here. So what we call thinking is actually not vitakta vichar. It is loud thinking using brain.
Yeah, rather that word itself talks for itself. V plus takka. Takka means to debate, to say what should I do. And you keep on doing that in your mind. So it vibrates and it brings up something in the brain where it connects from this to this to this to this to this to this, and you keep on objectifying it, meaning the now it creates images of whatever you are talking. There is an image, and like rightly said by Sachin, you will see in the throat region, especially what you would speak, there is subtle vibration here, there is vibration in the heart, there is vibration in the head, and
Even if you don't speak,
you don't
you
speak, it's okay.
might be thinking that this is internal chit chat. Even internal chit chat needs this organ.
Yes. So the words are not being brought up in the mouth, the words are happening inside. And hence, in that Chula Vedala Sutta, Dhammadin says that Vachi Sankhara is Vitakka Vicharo. Why? Because you're using it. There is a vibration in where? In the Manodhatu. Starts to vibrate, violently starts to vibrate based upon whatever inputs have come, it vibrates. There is a vitakka that should happen automatically. What should I do? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? And the dhamma is taken, the things are coming inside. So you, from the six sense doors, all the six sense doors will keep on putting some image or the other. So there is a talking happening inside. So now all six senses will start to shake. Instead of one, it is all six, like this. And when all six are shaking, you get into a next stage called as vichara, thinking. In English, they have put it as pondering because they have used vitakka as thinking, so they have put it as pondering. So vitakka, V plus takka, means is to debate what should I do. Vichara is to think. Once you debate what to do and when you think, you form words, it's sentences, and you push the same thing in the throat where you have a vocal cords, like what I'm talking. Vitakka, this is savitakka savichara. It's not just vitakka vichara, it is with dhamma. So savitakka savichara piti sukha ekagata is the next steps, because when you are in dhamma, the same organ of speech is replaced with savitakka. Now you are discerning what to speak. So in the same hadaya vattu, in the jivha kaya, nothing is happening. In the kaya, nothing is happening. In the chakku, nothing is happening. In the sota, nothing is happening. In the ghana, nothing is happening. In the mano, the chittas are arising with the dhamma of teaching. It goes wherever the last was. This life, past life, past life, past life, whenever that was. It brings the data. It becomes dhamma as a thing. And manovinyana dhatu keeps on shaking. And it becomes a food for manovinyana dhatu in the hadaya vattu. Now the kaya vinyana takes over from there, because the throat and the vocal cords are part of kaya. They are not the domain of the mano. So it transfers the authority to the kaya. Now as soon as there is a patigga sampassa, patigga, striking. So when there is a striking, the adhivachana sampassa has to do something about it. So you need to describe. So how do you describe the teaching? You can either recite in Pali, which is one language, English, another language. So the Vijnana now moves itself into the Sanya, perception. It perceives this is Pali. It perceives this is English. It has the ability now to translate, which is the Sankhara. Now what's the Vedana which is coming? It's Sukha Vedana. Why? Because Dhamma always gives you Sukha. And in the hadaya vattu, the Sukha is experienced. So manasa, not the Sukha as a body feeling. Sukha as a mental feeling, so manasa. And it also has the ability to have a chetasika. So that's the reason if you look at Abhidhamma, how many chittas are there? 121. Those many chitta will arise. With kusala chitta, akusala chitta, Vyakrita chitta, like that you have so many chittas. Abhyakata, Vyakata, like that. So you have so many chittas. Now that chitta will arise. That particular chitta. Sobhana chitta. So what we are doing in Dhamma is a Sobhana chitta. It will suppress everything. In the hadaya vattu only it will suppress. It will throw out, saying that no, not now. Get lost. So those amount of chitta of kusala type and akusala type are removed. It is only Sobhana chitta. And it arises with Sobhana chitta. Beautiful. Sobhana is beautiful. So the Dhamma, what you get, is beautiful. Why? It's not the person is beautiful. It is the chitta which is arising in that is beautiful. Where it is arising? In the hadaya vattu. Yes, ma'am. Sorry. Hey, wait for a second. Asad had raised his hand. I don't know what all did he raise, so let me ask him. No? Okay. Go ahead.
So is that, you know how sometimes they describe it as the seat of consciousness? Is that there's no, they say it's in the heart. Is that the same thing?
Yes. Yes. So what happens here is that, it's a good question. I appreciate. Consciousness is anidasana vinyana, unestablished. So you will see there is a consciousness which is not getting into reaction mode, the six senses are getting into reactionary mode. So when the six senses closes, this vijnana is a witness. Okay. And that is Nibbana, because it's asankata. The six senses have closed, but you are not dead. If you were to die at six senses, then there's nothing called Nibbana. Right? And hence in the Burmese tradition, since they go by Abhidhamma, they say that if you were to be called as a Sotapanna, the six senses should have closed. Because in the hadaya vattu, there should be no longer any shaking. The shaking is because of the six senses. It has vijnana, and that vijnana should not arise. Yes, ma'am.
And is that shaking really fast in like people with anxiety or who are anxious? You know,
No. Shaking
No.
can be anything. Any input shouldn't be coming into that six senses. Meaning, chakuncha paticca. Hold on. Chakuncha.
There is no fast or slow in Chitta.
Yeah, there's nothing like that. So, chakuncha paticca. Paticca. Please understand this. Paticca. Paticca samutpada. Paticca. Dependent. Chakuncha paticca. Rupe. This is condition. Sankata. Uppajjati. Arises. Chakku vijnana. That shouldn't come. Chakku arises as chakku. Rupa arises as rupa. No vijnana arises. Can it be possible? Yes. Like in the, again, going back to the Goenka tradition, when you are observing your body and it comes to a stage when the Dhara Prava is happening, what is happening? You have gone into the Arupa. From the Kama Dhatu, you have gone to the Rupa Dhatu. And at the Bhanga, you have attained Arupa. Who is experiencing Arupa? Who? The six senses. In this Mano Dhatu is vibrating and experiencing, now I get it. Mano Dhatu is what? To identify what it is. Mano Vijnana Dhatu is what? To produce that. Now, for some reason, Mano Vijnana Dhatu is not working. Mano Dhatu has got no role to play. There is no Dhamma. What happened? Bhanga. There's nothing. After Bhanga, if you were to just observe, all the six sense door closes. But the witness consciousness, irrespective of that, exists in the hadaya vattu. Just watching. And then you know, the death is for six senses. I have got nothing to do with this.
I am that.
I am. There's no I. Because there was no mind. Why? For making I and mine, there should be six senses. When the six senses are closed, where will I make it as I? So, if I had persisted after the Bhanga, Nibbana, how long? As much as you want, because it is unconditioned, boss. Don't ask me this question, how long? What do you mean, how long? As long as the six senses can be kept to sleep, so long you are in Nibbana. As soon as there is some vibration somewhere, yeah, like when Goenka word came, who Goenka finished out of Nibbana. Why? The Sota Vijnana, which was sleeping, woke up. And it gave to the Manodhatu. Manodhatu identified, hey, my dear friend, it is Goenka who is speaking. And why is he reciting this way? It shouldn't be recited that way. So the Dhamma Dhatu started. And then the Mano Vijnana Dhatu started. Because of that Chakku, Sota, Ghana, Jiva, all the 6 senses are now dancing. Where is my Nibbana? Went away. So from 4:30 to 4 to 6, whatever I was experiencing on day 1, watered away by the voice of Goenka. Because the mistake I did was to keep the Sota Vijnana Dhatu open. So I decided, never ever till I leave this place, I will open any of the 6 sense doors. Shut means shut. Yes, go ahead.
So that's good and well what you've done. However, don't you consider this one as suppressing the
No.
thing?
No, there's nothing to suppress or oppress or do whatever. You can...
Through the jhanic experience. No.
Not a jhanic, this is not jhanic. You read Bahudhatukasutta. For those people who are thinking there's a suppression, should read Bahudhatukasutta, where Buddha says, why this is coming? Why not I stop it? And he stops it. That is what a sammapadhana. You have to put effort to close that. Otherwise, the door will not close. If you allow the door to be open, Asad, it's unimaginable pain, I'm telling you, because you want that to be changed. It will never change. You know it is dukkha, but you will do something about it. So it keeps on shaking completely. So your body will not be light any longer. So from 4:30 to 6:30 or 4:30 to 6, 4:30 we're supposed to meet, right? So 4:30 to 6, 1.5 hours. Day 1 was beauty because I had done all preparations, Sankara, to cut out VRI completely, except that I didn't know Goenka is going to recite in this way. And that horrible thing I did of opening that sense door. And since I know hadaya vattu, I can close it. So from 8 o'clock, when I was supposed to get into, or 9 o'clock is the next session. So 9 to 11, 2 hours. 8 o'clock, I just sat for half an hour before I went inside the Dhamma hall, prepared to close all. Anyway, I had closed the eye sense door. Shreyas was there. I was not even looking at him. Eye sense door, nose sense door was closed. Tongue sense door was closed. Body sense door was closed. Mind sense door open because I need to automatically close it. But this ear sense door, then I felt, close it. Just close it. So I did not identify assistant teacher there. I did not identify any person sitting there. I did not identify I'm sitting in the Dhamma hall. I did not identify anything, which will make the hadaya vattu start to shake. So when I one second, May, you're pressing too fast. Hold on. So when I closed it, what happened? Silence. Now the same Goenka's voice is unheard. Unheard. From that first day till the last day, I have not heard a single word, but yet I have heard all of what he said, and I watched his video in an empty gaze. I'm watching the video in the night, and I know every word of what he speaks in Hindi because I used to listen to his lectures or the 10-day courses continuously for 2 years or more, all the time. Whenever I find time, just sit day 1, day 2, day 3. So I know it by heart that what is he going to speak next. So it was a test for me on day 1 evening when you sit, just sit in meditation, No Goenka is coming, no words are spoken, nothing is happening, even though the words are entering into the ear. So I every time,
Even though words are entering here, so I can say you heard it but not heard it, right?
yes, I heard it. And
You are not in trance.
no, no, no. It was good. So as soon as I used to come out, I used to feel very happy. Wow, this is peaceful. This is excellent. Etan santan, etan panitan, yadidam sabba sankhara samatho. No sankharas. Sabbu padi patini saggo. I given up the 5 aggregates. Tanhakkhayo. There is no craving for Goenka, either in a positive way or negative way. Virago. I have just let it go. Nirodho doesn't arise in me. Nibban. Yes, May. Sorry.
So, like you said before, so you're hearing it. So I guess it's a tricky one to close the ear sensor, because if you're hearing it, if it's like a really annoying noise, that might be like this really loud buzzing. But I guess what you're doing is, when you say closing the ear sensor, kind of like if you're in a jungle and you're just hearing monkeys or whatever screaming, it's just in the background.
Not like that.
Not like that.
Not like that. So first you need to see the vibrations. You have to get into a stage of seeing vibration in everything. And that's the meaning of actual Vedana, is the shakiness. Just vibrates. It vibrates with neutral feeling. Actually, it is only upekha. But when you take it, associate, it becomes either dukkha or sukha, or somanasa, domanasa. So first and foremost, through Goenka method, especially, it's a beautiful method to get into a stage of seeing this vibration, or what he calls a sensation. It's a beautiful method. At least somebody should do this 10-day retreat. Even if they can't go so deep into Dhamma, at least he will know what it is. This is a good one to do. And after that, he has to graduate himself and however he wants. Otherwise, he will be locked by within that only. But other than that, it is a good one. So now when you ask me, what is a sound? Sound is a vibration. What is a sight? It's a vibration. What is a smell? It's a vibration. What's a taste? It's a vibration. What's a touch? It's a vibration. What's a thought? It's again a vibration. That's all. All are vibrations only. What it vibrates? It just shakes. That's all. There's nothing like vibration. If you take a blade, in fact, there is a sutta where Buddha explains, in fact, in the Burmese books, you will find that. Just like somebody holding the blade and hitting it, it keeps on shaking. That's exactly what this sensation Vedana is. So when you sit and observe the body, you will see that it ultimately drops off. You just feel the shaking nature of it.
Earlier you said this very good way, read between the lines, right? So when words are written, there is a space in it. You make that as an object. When words are here, there is a silence in between, right? The sunyata. You make that as an object rather than the word. So the words are anicca, arise and pass, arise and pass. But your focus meditation object is sunyata, the silence in between the words. So if you stay hooked onto the silence and consider arising and passing away words as anicca. So now you have no object. You have only two objects, sunyata and anicca. Sunyata and anicca. Something comes, something goes away. But something stays is sunyata. Silence stays. So like that, earlier what happens is when you are hearing, you have nothing to anchor on. Let's say I am observing my breath. That is not easy, right? Words are coming and taking up your attention. Words are coming and taking up. In the hearing, you cannot stop hearing. So now in the hearing, you anchor somewhere. Somewhere means the silence. Because whatever sounds are there will have a 0 point, a silence. Hook onto that and consider other thing as arising and passing away. Probably that way you can proceed into what is saying the vibration.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Words are just vibration.
Very, very nice and very profound. And thanks, Sachin. Yeah, that's a good thing to do. Is to just observe the silence between the words. Like I'm speaking, there's a pause. Just Concentrate on the pause, only the pauses, only pauses, only pauses, only pauses. You will get into a stage of animitta. No sign. There's no sign. Which will bring you.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. Don't take it like your wife or husband or whatever. Just look at the pause. Somebody speaking, pause. Some sound coming, pause. Like he said about bird. Bird chirping, pause. Again, chirps, pause. Then pause. Then pause. Just be on the pause. Just be on the pause. Same way, body arising and departing, there's a pause. Breath going in and coming out, there's a pause. Breath goes in, there is a pause. Then comes out, there is a pause. Observe the pause only.
Yeah. So earlier I used to say people like make your breath as meditation object and everything else as a distraction. But if you are founded in breath, make the 0 point of the breath where breath is in 0 point, out 0 point. These 2 0 point will come in one session. If you make that sunyata as your object, now breath is a disturbance. Consider breath as a disturbance and that sunyata as object. So
Very nice.
like that you deepen go. And the same technique everywhere. In the seeing, in the hearing, in the tasting touch is not much.
Another thing.
Main thing is hearing and seeing.
And he said that, right? Where is the pause in the eye? Can you tell me? Every time you blink is a pause. Every time you blink is a pause. Where is the pause in the body? Every time you move the body, there is a pause. Where is the pause in the taste? Every time you take out saliva and eat, it's a different one.
Oh, the taste of saliva. Right now, you get the attention to your tongue. There is a taste of saliva.
There is a taste of saliva. And saliva is neutral. Just like the breath, saliva is neutral. So if you just be on saliva, you get neutral feeling, which is shunyata. Unless something is put on the tongue, there is no taste. It's just like you take a pan, on the pan you put something and then you can call something, right? If you just keep the pan as a pan, where is anything there? Same way as
yeah, because the mind wants some object. So give an object which is helpful. The saliva is helpful object, the silence is helpful object. And you give something so that other thing can be followed.
Yeah, but if you take that, you only keep that. Don't keep on changing objects. That's the main thing. That's the main goal. Like when Asad was asking some time ago, he was explaining me about Goenka technique. I know, but I was having a lot of difficulty in explaining to him how it works. But he wants to do that. So I didn't want to say no to it because that's the right thing what he's doing. Now, if he sticks on to that, it will take where it should take. Where it will take? It will take wherever it should take. Where? In shutting down the senses. Simple. Whether you shut down the senses through this way or that way, that other way, doesn't matter. What's the objective? Shut down the senses. You shut down the senses, you become the witness of the 6 senses. So you are in Nibbana. That's it. So like what Sachin says, beautiful one. Just look at the pause in the speech, in the sound, whichever sound, whatever sound comes. Just be the observer. The pause. The silence. Nibbana is that silence where nothing appears and disappears. And hence it is animitta, appanihita, shunyata. Goenka appears where? In the Dhamma. That's where it appears. What do you mean? Don't have Goenka? Your teacher? Yes, there. Who says it's not there? Then you are disrespecting Goenka? No. Then you are respecting Goenka? No. That means you are not respecting nor disrespecting Goenka? No. Because these are all absolute terms. What really is Goenka?
What you said, the pause of Mano? What you said? Or did say?
No.
Let's say Goenka is an object.
Goenka in the object. I was about to come to that. So what is the silence of Goenka?
Yeah, my question is that.
Your question is that. So I'm just trying to see if somebody wants to take the stride. What is that is cut out the nama and rupa. Mano requires nama rupa. Okay, if you can't cut out, then you are in trouble because Goenka is already created. Goenka is just a symbol created to keep on going back to that and feeling secure. Now you first question, investigate, that is Vimamsa. Is Goenka a conditioned phenomenon or an unconditioned phenomenon? And the answer is 100% condition.
So just before Goenka was created, there was a state of duality, that confusion. Who is this? I need to define this as something. I don't know Goenka. Just after a few milliseconds, I will say, yeah, it is Goenka. In that stage, there is a uncomfort. I don't know.
Correct.
And if I settle into comfort, I need not to know. That is the pause.
No, yeah, that is a pause. In between the uncomfortable and comfortable, there is a pause.
Yes. The comfort of no need to know is a pause.
Or not wanting to know both of them is a pause. Meaning, like I'm being said, here is Goenka, and I'm just blind. Just watch like I do when I'm walking. When I'm doing walking, I just watch like this. So things come and keep on falling away, coming, going. In the same way, the Nama Rupa also comes and goes away. That is the Dhamma object. Then the thoughts would start from there. So there is no Dhamma Dhatu. There is nothing which is coming out. Either with liking Goenka or disliking Goenka, because Goenka is a symbol created in the Mano Dhatu. So why don't I stop it? Yeah, it can be stopped. If you stop it, there's no Goenka to be experienced. Stop. There's nothing called Burmese technique to be experienced in the first place. What do you mean Burmese technique? There's nothing called Burmese technique. Because if you create Burma, then you can experience a technique. If there is no Burma, what technique? There's nothing like that. It's only Buddha Dhamma. Over. So much of mental worry is gone. Otherwise, it brings me towards liking Burmese technique or hating Burmese technique, which is both are duality, right? It's not Nibbana. So why don't I look at the pause of Burma? Yes, don't consider it as Burma. Manyana is considering. Don't know Manyana. And that is what is there in the Mula Pariyaya Sutta, MN1. Manyati. You should not do that. No Manyana. No Manyana. Don't take Pathavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo, all of that till Nibbana as it's like this. Manyana. Considering it. No. In that way, no Burmese will be there. Because the associated object is what? Patigha. There's no patigha. There's nothing striking. So when the nama appears, irrespective of the patigha, no rupa, so the rupakaya doesn't appear. So the namakaya appears, there's no rupakaya. Namakaya falls down. If the rupakaya comes up and having no namakaya, it also falls down. So in the Nidana Sutta, what is asked? Can there be a stage when the Nama Kaya, Rupakaya, if yahi akare, yahi linge, yahi uddeshe, yahi nimitta, if that is not there, can anything be experienced? Nothing can be experienced. Because there is no phassa. So if there is no phassa, there is no vedana. So the Goenka has to be experienced if there is phassa. Manancha paticcha, dhammecha upajjati, manovinyanam. If that itself is not there, where is the question of getting experience of Goenka technique? Because then I can take a stand. What? It's a good technique, it's a bad technique. Good technique, I'll become a devotee and I feel, oh, I need to be there in the retreat. I didn't get whatever he said. I start blaming the technique, horrible Burmese technique and blah, blah, blah. It's not going to help me in both ways. So the equanimity is lost. The pause is the equanimous state. Just pause it. I think we have more than 2 hours now. I don't mind.
Very well.
Yeah, we started at 8:30. It's now 10:37 here. I don't know. It should be 6:30. Sorry, it should be 4. Yeah, it should be 6:30 for you. Oh, 6 o'clock. Oh, sorry, 5 o'clock.
Yes.
5.
It's a springtime. It's a sun. Yeah. Let's do
mind
the
that
Anumadana. Yeah, the metta thingy.
Yeah, fine, but I don't mind. I have still time. So if you want to continue, we can continue. But this is the dhatus. So we didn't cover the next part. We got stuck here. We were supposed to go to Patisamutpada in the same sutta. I think we should take it some other time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think too much of eating also will be a problem. Then it becomes too much heavy in the stomach.
Yes.
So the practice, you can practice Goenka technique, you can practice Lede Sayadaw technique, you can practice Thai technique, you can practice Sri Lankan technique, you can practice Mahayana technique, you can practice whatever technique, you can create your own technique also. That is not a problem. What it should be is, you should see, like what Sachin rightly indicated, the hadaya vattu. That is where this all will take you to. Once you have seen the hadaya vattu, you have seen all. So there is no person. It's only 6 senses, salayatan. On top of that, 6 dhatus. And these 2 coming and going is Patisamutpada. Got the point? Avidya pachaya sankhara. Where is avidya? Avidya is thinking that I am. Is avidya. So you create sankhara. Through what? Through vinyana. Which vinyana? Chakku vinyana, sota vinyana, ghana vinyana, jiva vinyana, kaya vinyana, mano vinyana. Okay. Sankhara, chakku sanchetana, sota sanchetana, ghana sanchetana, jivha sanchetana, kaya sanchetana, mano sanchetana. All these relate into senses only. So sankhara is also happening through senses. Avidya is taking the senses and the dhatus as mine. I am. So vinyana pachaya namarupa. So now in the same thing, taking the 6 senses and the 6 sense objects on the other side, when it comes into the hadaya vattu, it combines itself as one side nama rupa and other side vinyana, consciousness. It just reflects on the consciousness. So it turns into a whirlpool effect. So vinyana pachaya nama rupa pachaya salayatana. So the 6 sense basis now is what is called as I am from the beginning is now experience. Salayatana pachaya phassa. So there's a contact. Phassa pachaya vedana, that shaking. Vedana pachaya tanha. I want it to shake in the way I love it because I experience sukha vedana. I need that. Tanha pachaya upadana. That is holding on to that feeling as me and mine. Upadana pachaya bhava, to become. Bhava pachaya jati. Now the birth of what? 6 senses again. Started with what? 6 senses. Now again jati 6 senses. So the 6 senses will have jara, marana, soka, parideva. Now in that Goenka technique or whichever technique, when the 6 sense doors closes, what happens? There is no shake in the hadaya vattu. So there is no vinyana. There is no vinyana, there is no namarupa. If there is no namarupa, there is no salayatana. If there is no salayatana, there is no Phassa. If there is no phassa, there is no vedana. If there is no vedana, there is no tanha. If there is no tanha, there is no padana. There is no padana, there is no bhava. If there is no bhava, there is no jati. Absolutely true. Because you have seen the deathless with the jati. There is no jara, marana, soka, parideva, dukkha, do, manas, upayasa. Nirujjanti. Evameva. Kevalassa. Dukkha. Khandassa. Nirodho hoti. You're done. Whether it was for 1 minute, half a minute, 1 second, 100 seconds, doesn't matter. You have literally seen or experienced deathless. This is the dhatu quality of nibbana. Nibbana dhatu is also there. And what is nibbana dhatu? That which doesn't change. Because it's shunyata, emptiness of what? Conditions. And conditions are not there, where will you call I am or me or mine or whatever it is. So that's it. So we are now in Nibbana, at least theoretically. Okay. I think it's seemingly like all of us are in good jhana, at least from the face. At least Asad is in jhana. Okay, good then. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Asad, go ahead.
Very well. Yeah, it's shunya. I mean, I just noticed the one that you are suggesting. It goes to the shunya, and with that, it's just happenings. Initially, I thought, oh, well, what's happening? It gets dark, but at the same time, it's just like something's arising, passing as well. It's just like, oh, either it's very fast, but it's very quiet and peaceful. But yeah.
So
Last week I was overcharged for the whole week. We had a chat on Saturday. I was for the entire week. It was just like in the work, going to work. Before the work, I was shunya people. I mean, what's that? The signless people and that kind of stuff. It would have helped, I guess. I mean, it helps a lot. Yeah.
Good.
Very well. So let's do the sharing merits and then.
Yes. So yes. Good thing.
That could be a meditation. Like it would be 5 minutes while you are saying we're going to close out the eyes.
Yeah.
It could
So
be a
then we
meditation
can
for
do
us.
both. We can do calling all the beings, and also we can do the merit sharing. Both we'll do it. Okay, you can close your eyes and we'll do for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Samanta Chakkavalesu Atra Gacchantu Devata Saddhamma Munirajasa Sunantu Soggamaggadam Dhamma Savanakalo Ayam Bhadanta Dhamma Savanakalo Ayam Bhadanta Dhamma Savanakalo Ayam Bhadanta. May all beings assembled here who got this opportunity to hear to the Dhamma of the Buddha, may the merits go to all the beings and elevate them from the sorrow, lamentation, grief, despair. As long as we are in the samsara, so long the pain is going to be felt. The anxiety, the worry, trying to make things work. May all beings be happy. May the fruits of their good deeds help them in elevating and removing the suffering and may what they aspire happen. May all attain peace, get into the unconditioned, which is what the Buddha Dhamma is all about. May all attain Nibbana, which is the only happiness or sukha. Everything is conditioned by time and space. Anything we possess, stay for some time in that given space of their existence. Nibbana is the only thing that transcends space and time. That's the highest peace, highest bliss, highest happiness. Parama Attha, the only essence. May all beings be rid of their pain, their sorrows, and may all beings be in Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Yeah, Sachin. Nothing. Okay. Okay. Namo Buddhaya, and then we'll meet on Tuesday with the next. We'll take 1 or 2 day break to reverberate in our mind about what we have learned on the Bahudhatu, and then we catch up on the balance thing. So, meet you on Tuesday. Bye bye.